We fucked up.
Jesus Christ. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to TCS Sports. Back for another mayhem of these three knuckleheads next to us, including this bobblehead. So, as you guys can tell in the title, there is no taco. No taco today. You got Sage, Big Unk, Pork Dog, and then me, the host, Cope. We're going to be talking a little bit of baseball, a little bit of football, a little bit of hockey. There's very little going on with football right now. They're pretty much just doing the OTAs.
OTAs are happening. First week of OTAs are finished. That definitely finished.
A lot of people just didn't show up for their OTAs, for their team OTAs or whatever. So, but I'm just going to briefly go over a few things with football, and then we're going to jump into baseball. About 5 days ago, Broncos announced that they are inducting Demaryius Thomas into the Ring of Fame.
Who?
Terry Bradshaw called the Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers a fucking joke.
Big joke.
Wow, that's
and then
something.
The Dolphins have had trade discussions with the Pittsburgh Steelers about their lone Pro Bowl selection last season, tight end Geno Smith, per league sources.
This is true.
Those talks came after Smith expressed an interest in reworking his deal that is scheduled to pay him $4.8 million this coming season.
That's some big money.
So that's pretty much it for football.
At the moment.
Until preseason hits or whatever.
Right. So
preseason,
get closer to
spring training, shit like that.
Not much to talk about OTAs other than
shit's happening.
They're not much happening. You really can't go first week OTAs. They're just out there going through motions.
Yeah.
Although there was a fair stat, if I'm not mistaken, was Will Howard. Something about he was like 31 at 38 with like 11 touchdowns during their 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s.
Looking promising.
So okay, that's great.
That's
a nice little step forward, I guess, in a sense, but it doesn't matter nor mean much when it's only OTAs. But personally, I wholeheartedly believe that Aaron Rodgers will not come to Pittsburgh. I think if he really wanted to come to Pittsburgh, I think it would have happened. I don't think he's coming to Pittsburgh. And that's fine. It's his decision. He can go wherever he wants. He can not play. He could play. He can go to wherever he wants to go. But I think if he really wanted to come to this organization, it would have already happened.
So, I mean, there were reports, and actually I think he announced whenever he talked to somebody or whatever reporter, that the reason there hasn't been a decision yet is because he's been focusing on family matters. I believe his mother was in the hospital for something.
I did see a thing going with that some people that in his life were dealing with some cancer type matters. But going to OTAs real quick, kind of with what you're going with Will Howard, there were some stats that I saw about the Cleveland Browns QB room with their 16 members in that QB club.
Right.
Basically, it seems like everyone but Kenny Pickett kind of had the same results, to where Shedeur Sanders had the highest completion percentage, but Flacco did have some, showed some promising things with Dylan Gabriel, as well as kind of battling for that QB1, and Pickett's just there.
Right. Yeah, there's also some
Kenny Pickett's just there.
Yeah, there's also some positive talks also about in the Giants organization with Jackson Dart and his performance so far at OTAs, and how they're encouraged and so on and so forth. And it's even ridiculous even talking the fact that it is OTAs and it is optional, it's not mandatory. So obviously, a lot of the veterans are more than likely not in any OTAs, but it's nice work for the young guys to come in and just get some work with other members in their organization, what the systems entail. And it's a little bit encouraging, I guess, when you hear that any player through draft or free agency, like a Jackson Dart, Will Howard, so on and so forth, looking pleasantly well enough, then I guess it's definitely a positive in the right direction. I know personally I'm not going to get, pretty encouraged or crazy as we have in the past few years, particularly until preseason start, because they still have to go through OTAs. They still have to go through. They'll have to get to the dead of the summer camp crap too. So that's nice.
You mentioned Jackson Dart, and actually 2 days ago they went and the Giants went and signed him for a 4-year, $17 million.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed
Nice. Rookie contract. Guaranteed. It's like guaranteed 9 or 19. Did I catch a niner in there? So that's good for New York. But that's about all you can. That's all you can get at right now with football. So we can kind of move on wherever you want to move on to next.
Well, the only other thing that I had for football is where is it? Don't laugh at me.
I just looked at it. It was like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I was looking for the original one. 49ers and Eagles are working to finalize a trade that will send edge rusher Bryce Huff to San Francisco for a mid-round pick. The trade cannot and would not be processed until after June 1st, which is today.
Well,
both sides are working to make it happen, and Huff already has reworked his contract to help facilitate the trade. In San Francisco, Huff will be reunited with 49ers DC Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator.
He used to be he was the old head coach of the Jets.
The Jets.
Yeah, his former
that
head
dude.
coach.
Yeah, I mean, that just makes that a familiarity with the player and coach. That's all.
And if we're gonna go with edge rushers real quick, something that I found funny was, I forget which team snagged him, but Hassan Reddick, wherever he went, he is also not showing up for that team's OTAs.
Well,
so he is again skipping.
Well, he's
skipping
he's an age veteran. He's a seasoned veteran, and a lot of seasoned veterans are not going to go to at least for sure not the first week of OTAs, but real briefly, if we're still on trades and signings, how do you feel, real quick, about Jonnu Smith possibly coming to Pittsburgh as an additional tight end? I think he's familiar with Arthur Smith's offense, if I'm not mistaken, and that may allow for, which I'm only going to assume that Arthur Smith is going to run some, multi tight end sets, some strong tight end sets.
Kind of like what they did last year, but didn't quite work out.
Right. Well, they didn't. Yeah, I mean, they didn't have a Jonnu Smith last year to help that out.
We still have a DeMar Washington though.
So maybe that allows for, strong formations to, run the ball with a 2-back system, which, it's not a bad thing.
No.
And I think it's encouraging, particularly since, this offensive line has shown vast improvement from, I would probably say, about week 8 or 9 of last year up until now. So, I mean, it's encouraging to see and hear that they may, go forward with a little bit more running with actual runners that can run the ball.
Yeah, not go anywhere.
Other than handing it
Other
off.
than not
not
going
go
somewhere.
like a no-go.
Yeah.
No-go-go.
Ball, try to fucking run. immediately gets fucking stuck.
I don't have his stats in front of me. I don't know what Janu Smith's stats are, but I would say he's probably he's a step below Fryermuth, but a step above Washington, I would think.
I mean, maybe in terms of
As far as talent goes and
I would
experience.
say maybe like catching,
Well, sure,
like receiving.
yeah, right. But I mean, I believe he could
we can
kind of
find
also
out.
block.
We can only hope.
You know, probably definitely a step above Connor Hayward, because he did not
Yeah.
look very well last year at all. He looked
Didn't quite
slightly lost.
work
There's my
out.
pussy cat.
To continue talking about the Steelers, so with us getting rid of Pickens, that leaves us with the next one up being Roman Wilson,
Right.
who was out his rookie year with an ankle injury.
Yes.
Right.
Like, it was
Something like
a
that.
prior ankle injury that reoccurred.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like, people are trying to base his performance off of his college stats. I mean, he played what, 1 game, 2 games, and
With Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
He played.
something like
I mean,
that.
if you include preseason, I think it was 2 games.
Right.
But regular season, I believe it was 1 week 6. I believe it said because I saw something about that.
Yeah.
But I think like week 6, it happened again and sat out.
My thing is like, everybody's like boistering Roman Wilson, but like I told you guys about this. They went and signed FA Rock Taylor,
Yes.
like draft FA Rock Taylor.
Yes. And
Um,
has impressed, has opened a little bit of eyes during OTAs, which is great.
well, yeah,
Which is great. Hopefully that happens this week during some OTAs as well. So, you if they may not be looking so much as being too much vertical like they were last year. This
They
year.
might be looking cross or slam.
Yeah, there might be a little bit more. I can't think of what it is. But
I mean, if you're gonna go deep, it's obviously gonna go to DK.
sure, yeah, it's going to go to DK, absolutely.
Maybe Kyle
But you're
Allison
you
kind of
have
speed.
your wide receiver core are now a lot of playmakers. I mean, when you think of, like you said, Rock and Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin, those are guys that you just want to get the ball in their hands and let their talent go to work.
Well, I mean, if you think
You
about
know,
it,
And you could always, you always have that option
But
for DK down
Rock
deep.
is a dual threat.
That's what I mean.
He-
They have some
like,
playmakers.
Literally looking at his stats, I believe I actually sent this into our chat.
and from what I kind of know of Arthur Smith's past ways of coaching, especially with the Titans, with Tannehill and Derrick Henry, that was kind of what he dealt with, was just playmaker receivers and a great running system.
Right, not too many, not going vertical too much. So
Yeah.
hopefully, what we'll see is when it becomes 3rd and 1, we're not going to see them try to go
Like
25
4
yards
verticals.
downfield.
Well, so I went and pulled his combine numbers, and for his 40, he ran a 4.49.
Not terrible.
His 10-yard split was a 1.53. His vertical jump was a 30.5. His broad jump was a 10.2. So, like, his numbers are looking really similar to what Pickett was. Or Pickens. Not Pickett.
Yeah,
Fuck
George Pickett.
Yeah, George Pickett.
George Pickett.
Yeah, George Pickett
Welcome
or,
George Pickett, everyone.
or Kenny Pickens.
Kenny Pickens. Yeah.
But no, which is fantastic. Which is
He has.
he
the
might be
height,
that
too.
little
I mean,
sleeper that just kind of pops up during camp and preseason.
I mean,
that
it might not.
may
He
impress.
might not be regular season. I mean,
Dude, if he
I
can
mean,
make
maybe-
if he can
maybe
make
not
depth,
yet.
if he can make the
But-
depth chart, then more power. That's awesome. That's more weapons.
And I mean, and if
Well,
he is like
And
a
that all
dual threat,
depends.
like you
Like,
said,
looking
you
at
can
his
go behind DK
measurements,
Metcalf.
like his height, weight, hand size. Like they actually measure your hand. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Kenny Pickens had some small hands as a quarterback.
Kenny Pickens.
It's a true fact though. Kenny Pickett had small hands as a quarterback, and so some people kind of made fun of him because of that.
Rock
It's still
Taylor
funny.
is 6'2", 213 pounds. His hand is 9 inches, and then his arm, I guess.
I wish I
they
had 9
measure,
inches.
Like, arm length. I don't know if they're doing wingspan.
I wouldn't know what to do with 9 inches.
We all could say the same.
But that's good. So that's encouraging, and particularly for this year, I'm not. Obviously, nothing has happened with Janu Smith. I think that would be not a horrible addition.
It's something to help. It would be
sure,
a nice helping hand.
But it is nice to know that they're, possibly they're not going to be too vertical. Nothing wrong with being vertical, but they're not going to be too vertical. And just kind of start to, get the ball to an open guy, let them do the work. That's what those guys are there for. That's why they snagged them. They snagged the Roman Wilsons and the Calvin Austins and Skoroniniks or whatever his name is.
Scotty Miller.
Scotty Millers. Give them the ball and let them do the work. So run the ball with two pretty decent backs and just get the ball into some playmakers' hands and let it work. Don't worry about going 25 yards deep all the time.
Honestly, I can say that the Steelers, they have done a decent job in the off season. They have been a little confusing. You dropped fucking Pickens. I don't know why.
I mean, there's always reasons behind everything.
There's always reasons.
Sure, there's reasons that we don't know and probably won't know for a while, but there are reasons. I would say for sure there's something prompted them to make that deal. Yeah. Maybe maybe he was a headache and they don't want that headache.
Right. Well, I did see two sides of a coin to where one report was saying that Tomlin kind of had a say in it, and another thing was where Pickens kind of forced the Steelers to trade him out.
Well, wasn't something to the effect where Pickens was skipping team meetings and late for practices and things of that nature, and sending twitty twats or whatever, social media
twat.
I thought I saw twitty twat, and so they had that headache once before with a former player, and maybe they didn't want to go down and get that headache again. Mm-hmm. So that's sad because both those headaches had massive mega potential and talented, and turned out to be massive pains in the ass headaches, and that's a shame.
I mean, they still are looking pretty decent compared to their prior drafts and off seasons. I think this off season they did pretty well.
They did okay. They did okay last year, but then again, last year we were all, I think, quietly a little excited with the mere fact, and also confused, I believe, with Fields and Russ Wilson, and there was initial, oh wow, man, this might be interesting, and it turned out to be a little bit of a, okay, what are they doing? You know what I mean? Yeah. So this year I'm gonna let things unfold as they may.
Yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up.
And hope that
last year, whenever we went to the spring training and we seen how Russ was performing, we seen how Fields was performing, we seen how our backfield was, and we're like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him. And then No-Go Harris fucking starts. And then fucking Russ Wilson is just doing Russ things.
Running into
he had moments where he was doing rather well, but the last few games of the season
my thing is why do we continue to be a second half team?
I don't know. That is funny. I don't know.
We don't show up in the first half.
Make adjustments.
We might get a field goal, but we're down, and then for some fucking reason through halftime they go and they make adjustments to counteract, and
and then all of a sudden just kind of blow things up, and you're like, where the hell was that at in the first half?
Like, just do that in the
Right.
first half and
Right.
continue to do that.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's what they're gonna be.
Like, I
looking
know it's
forward
such a
to
thing as
this year is
it's like a
changing
chess match, but
that. Is
boy, oh boy.
I get it. You know, they come out, they're lax, and, you know, you see how the other team plays, and then you make adjustments going into the second half.
Yeah.
Once you make those adjustments, I get it. You know, the offense looks different, the defense looks different. But why don't you come out strong in the first half, still monitor how the other team is playing, and then make the adjustments again?
Yeah, at least like make adjustments almost every play. Just keep kind of seeing what's going on and go
Fuck
from
it,
there.
do it after every single fucking quarter.
Yeah, that's what I would say. After every quarter, kind of go like, all right, they're doing this, so let's try this. And
Well, I know we're still on football, so
I mean,
I don't know if you want to switch gears or if you have a little bit more time to do football, but something came across my mind that we could save till another point in time, but it has something to do with rookie quarterbacks getting the starting nod. I don't know if you want to wait until a little bit later to have that discussion, but
We can probably hold that off for a later day.
we'll hold that off. I was just
Um,
wanting people's thought, a little bit of thoughts on that, because from what we saw earlier,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of history of things. Some things going well for some, and some things not going well for others. And the fact that it almost seems apparent that Will Howard probably may end up being QB1, sort of, I don't know. There's a small part of me that's concerned, but we'll save up for another time. I think we'll save up for another time, particularly whenever camp starts.
or at least
Yeah.
preseason, seeing how he does, and
Right.
kind of comparing it to
Right.
that kind of thing.
Well, we can go ahead and switch things.
Yeah,
up.
let's switch gears and
Go over to. You
Huh?
want to do baseball or you want to?
sure. Let's do a little bit of baseball. We'll
Let's
talk
get the other ball involved.
baseball,
Yeah.
which it'll give
Got
me
this
an
kind of ball and go to
opportunity.
this kind of ball.
Got a ball right there.
I'll let Sage kick this off.
Yeah, Sage, go ahead. Roll with the
Yeah, bobblehead.
roll with
Let's
the
see.
Kick
The-
the shit off.
Buccos. My apologies. The Stinkos.
You want to start with Coach? Well, there's recent news.
Recent news
As of today.
as of today,
40 minutes ago,
40 minutes ago.
40 minutes ago.
shortly before we started this,
Before we start,
Andrew McCutcheon has tied Roberto Clemente's on the Pirates list of all-time home runs with 240.
Way to go, Kutch. Thank
Took
you
you
for
long
coming
enough.
back to the Berg, buddy.
His next one will break that
That's
If-
that's great.
from above Roberto Clemente.
That is good.
If
That
he
is
can
very
do
good. I
that.
like Kutch.
Uh,
I like Kutch. Kutch is good people.
Kutch can clutch.
Yeah, Kutch, Clutchy, Kutchy, Cucky Clutch.
Okay.
Bukaki.
Whatever the fuck that was.
But no, that's
Bukaki
great. Good
flush.
for him. He's good people. Glad to see he came back to the Berg and
Doing Berg things.
getting that accomplishment, in a Pirates uniform. That's always awesome. I understand that the Pirates are, kind of winning, and hopefully no one really, gets too excited about that, because that's not going to last very long.
No.
We all know that.
No.
I will s-
Continuing on the track of records, Aaron Judge
Aaron.
could shatter a record held by
I think
Babe
he
Ruth.
did that. I don't know if he did that.
By Babe Ruth himself. What record
What
was
the hell
that?
camera's that?
I'll search it up.
How stupid camera's that?
Or did he shatter it?
I know he likes to shatter something else.
That's
That's from that. In
Yep.
2025, New York Yankees star Aaron Judge broke a Yankees record held by Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig for
Lou
most
Gehrig.
extra base hits in May with
Okay.
oh.
25.
Okay.
He also
That's-
tied Babe Ruth's record of 320. That's probably the
For an
one
Aaron,
that they're talking
yeah,
about.
I mean that's
He's-
really good. Aaron
He's
Judge is
tied
a
up
good
with
player.
Babe Ruth for with 321 home runs in their first 1,000 games.
There you go.
Nice.
Good player.
Yeah, I mean, good for that team as
And he's
well.
Good player.
Yeah, historic.
And he's also
Yeah,
on
star
pace
players.
to break
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Continuing it.
yeah.
Ruth's single season total bases record of 457.
Jesus.
a lot.
Records
It's a
that
lot.
were set back in 1921.
So now the next thing that all we have to wait for is a trade between the Yankees and Pirates, and of course the Yankees will get Skibbies or Skennies or whatever his name is. And
speaking of trade, haven't really heard much about this at all. Other than the Pirates and the Phillies have reportedly discussed a potential blockbuster trade centered around Bryce Harper. Talks are said to be serious, with thin momentum building over the past 48 hours, which in that past 48 hours, we didn't really find out anything.
So I haven't heard shit on it.
So it still
Nothing
might
much
be a
on it.
potential. It might have just died off, and they're still trying to work things out.
One way to kind of find out, just wait and see.
Yeah.
Oh, to my knowledge, Bryce Harper is out on the Pirates, so I don't think really much else is moved with that.
On May 29th, 2017, Andrew McCutcheon tied Willie Stargell and Ralph Kiner for the most walk-off home runs in Pittsburgh history with 6. Then he left.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm here to tie this record, and bitch, I'm out.
Yeah, he literally left the year after. He literally left in 2018.
And then he came back, and now he is tied for a record. I figured I'd just input that.
Tied with Roberto.
what do you think? He'll get traded with Skennies to the Yankees?
Skeens.
Yeah, that dude.
Oh, speaking of Skeens, a little bit of his stats. I don't know how current
I
this
think
is.
that was that his May stats?
His May stats.
I don't
This was
know if
the
that was May
one I
or
was
if that
talking
was
about, the guy.
April. It might be April.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
that
just,
dude.
just checking our sources here to make sure that we're telling you the right information.
So I will say this, because this had happened a little recently. It's something a little funny.
It's about the Steelers real
About the
quick.
Steelers real quick, but they did sign another undrafted free agent wide receiver, but his name is Montana Lemonis Craig.
Yeah, May.
And the funny thing is, some people kind of were making fun of it because it sounds like a Key and Peele skit. The football names they did back then.
Yeah.
So it was a little funny.
No, it's a real person.
It is a real person.
Yeah, Montana Lemonius
So
Craig.
we're saying it's, some of the workers are gonna have some problems trying to get that.
but it's a
name
real
out of the
person.
back.
He's a wide receiver. He's what is it, undrafted or
He
whatever.
was an undrafted, yes.
So Lemonade Craig.
Lemonade Craig, we're calling him.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, but
They
anyway.
also have Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Right. Right, and that's a real person too.
There's Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you
real
got
person.
Lemonade
Lemonade
Lemonade Craig and then Kool-Aid.
But
Going back over to baseball, a little update on Skeen's stats for May.
okay.
He pitched 37.2 innings with a ERA of 1.91. Has 38 strikeouts, with an average of .184. I don't know what WHIP stands for. Do you know what WHIP stands for?
What?
WIP.
Walks per inning?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Walks per innings pitched.
Yeah. That is a 1.04.
So what did I mean? In all honesty, what is the likelihood of Skeens actually sticking around? Really?
I mean, he loves being here. He loves being with the Pirates, but
Which is really different.
and he's been fighting
Unheard of.
for like standing up for like the owners and like
The owners, the coaches.
But eventually, they make the decision.
yeah. In the end of it, yeah.
Right, and if in their mind they can get some sort of whatever value for Skeens,
They're gonna do
they're
it.
going to do it. It's already been done 1,000 times before, and why you people still go into that frickin' park and stuff is just beyond me. Because all I know is when I was a kid, I went to the park to watch a team, not because the park looked nice or they had good food.
Yeah,
Because right now they ain't got no damn team.
Give you a little hope. May 25th, O'Neal Cruz hit the. No, this is the second time he's done this. He has hit the hardest hit ball in MLB Statcast history.
Well, I'd rather him hit the multiple most hit balls.
Yeah.
His name's Cruise Missile for a reason.
No, I mean, like, I want him to, like, go for, you know what I mean, like a higher batting average and
So what is
putting it somewhere far.
I mean, he has a decent batting average.
Yeah, he was one of our
So
better players.
He is one of our better players.
That's
He
not-
has
That's what I want to see.
he has a 230 average, 12 home runs, 26 RBIs, 42 hits for the season.
I mean,
So
our better players are Brian Reynolds, Cruz,
Kutch.
and Kutch.
That's fine. I mean, they just got on some sort of win streak when they were on, like, a 50-game losing streak.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you know, there's got to be. I mean, that's great, but there's got to be some. There has to be some consistency. Even when I watched them in the '90s, you went. Even if they lost, you went to watch them, or you sat and watched them because you felt good and confident about watching that game because you're happy about the team that's on the field. The teams that since then, the teams have been very inconsistent.
Well,
And it's not the player's fault. It's it's ownership's fault for allowing that to happen.
So, like, right now,
Which
the
is-
biggest issue that Pirates have is their bullpen. They have a
And
shitty-ass bullpen.
It's
They
had
don't
it.
have
It's
success
been like that for a little while.
unless Skeens is on the field.
Right.
Now, they have been doing pretty decent. I don't know what they have up their ass right now, but
They need to keep it.
they need to keep
And
it.
that's great. And if that happens, fantastic. I have been a baseball fan for a long time, but since the time that they had a really strong playoff run, it's been a lot of letdowns. It's been as a
Yeah.
fan, you get excited, and next thing you know, your top 2, 3, 4 top players are disappearing and going to other teams.
How are they in this series right now?
This one, it's tied, but we're winning this game, so we're gonna win this series. Other series with Padres.
Didn't they? What team series did they play that like they cleaned out? I thought they like cleaned the series. I know there was a game. It was against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, we won 10-1, but the only reason I went 1 was because we had to get let Skeens breathe.
Yeah, as soon as they took Skeens off the mound, the Diamondback got one run.
Oh, he's a phenomenal pitcher.
Absolutely.
I mean, that goes without saying. That goes without saying of any phenomenal pitcher.
but like I get
they
where
really
you-
need a stronger supporting cast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Which
make you feel as a fan like, I want us to go to a game. I would love to sit and watch what's on the field, as opposed to, oh, it's a great looking park.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing.
Well, whenever
that and-
Sage and Taco went against the Yankees, it was a very interesting game.
They're actually active.
It was a very active game. We were up 4-1. The Yankees ended up coming back in it was the 9th or 8th.
Yeah, it was the.
They
The
tied it
eighth,
in the 8th inning, and then it went on to extra innings, and we won because Pham ended up hitting a walk-off. So, because we had the extra innings rule where they put the player on second base, and he just hit a blooper out to the outfield and he went in. Because he stole from second to third,
Mm-hmm.
and then just
Once
that
that ball
bloop.
blipped.
Right.
Yeah, that was
Right.
it. So I mean, they won 5-4, and like that was a game. Yeah, it was very upsetting to watch the Pirates give up,
Fumble
3
a little
runs,
bit, but
Right.
but
Skeens was a
it
pitch
made
out.
it even more interesting.
Sure.
Because it was like a nail biter. We were
Sure.
like, oh shit, here comes Judge, and they were
Sure. Well, yeah.
they were pissed at fucking Judge.
Every time
Because-
Judge went up to the plate, they all booed. All the Yankee fans were booing. Because that stadium was
Because he
95%
went up-
Yankee fans.
He went up the bat, and it was like he wasn't putting effort in it. Like you can see the way he was swinging the bat. It was just like a lazy swing. He was just trying to get some contact and go somewhere with it, but wasn't planning to fucking hit it out. So, but I mean, there have been games that are good. But right, if they get on a losing streak, who wants to go to a fucking game?
I don't think it's. I know that games can go weird or go differently for various reasons. What I think the fan base needs is to feel, that that sort of warm confidence. Like, hey, if I go to the game, let's go to the game. Let's go see the Pirates. Let's go see who they're playing. It hasn't felt like that, I don't think, in the city for a while. Because next thing you know, the ownership turns around and they go, oh, well, we're going to get rid of such and such for a bag of balls.
Mm-hmm.
Which they've done, many
For a
times
bag of
before.
peanuts.
The game
They
we
have.
went to, I mean, me and Taco were pretty interested in it because it was our two favorite teams going up against each other, and then it turned out to be a great game. I mean, we thought the Yankees were going to take the fucking series. We figured we were going to go there and watch the Pirates lose.
Yeah. Right.
But we just went to watch the Yankees
Right.
kick the Pirates' ass, pretty much.
Right.
So it was either way, it was going to be a win-win for us.
Right.
So,
But it's not a win-win for everybody.
mm,
And that's what you want. You want a win-win for everybody. So, I mean, hopefully hopefully this transcends and maybe them having an actual winning season. That'd be great.
yeah.
Or even close to a winning season, something to talk about, something to feel confident about. And it hasn't happened in quite a long time.
Yeah.
Really.
Did you have anything else?
Anything else that is baseball related that
About
is?
any other team?
No, I mean there hasn't really been.
I mean, I can tell you a worse team than us at the moment. Like, way worse. If I remember right. Even worse than the Sox. Yes, the Colorado Rockies.
Oh,
Their win-loss right now is 9-50.
well,
Word.
And compare that to the Pirates at the moment.
well, there's things out there that's more legal in their state than ours. So
We are 22 and
they have a
37.
win-win out there.
Yeah, we're 22 and 37. They're 9 and fucking 50.
No,
Yeah, but they
yeah,
can-
9-55.
They're
What's the
comfortably numb out there in Colorado.
Yeah, what the fuck are they? They're 18 and 41. So
Yeah, the two worst teams in the league are the Chicago White Sox.
Well, that's
Which is
something to
weird,
feel
'cause
very.
Colorado Rockies.
So weren't the
Something
White
to-
Sox pretty competitive in some past
They,
seasons?
they were,
Yeah.
yes.
What the hell happened
They
there?
were. Oh God, various things happened.
I mean, Colorado's kind of just like the Browns. They're just there.
The Browns.
Like,
Yeah.
they're just there.
Well, yeah, for Colorado, yeah, they've. Yeah.
Well,
I
actually,
guess.
the team that has been the Browns in the past few seasons has been the White Sox.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's a shame for them.
I remember the A's were also pretty fucking bad last year. They have I believe they're playing at a fucking minor league stadium.
Can you do me a favor, Rob?
The Oakland A's. I believe that's what their
Football.
stadium is about because they don't
There's only
have their
food in it.
actual stadium
Let's
anymore.
bring it down.
Yeah, just bring it down for us, man.
I'll be
But
right
yeah.
back, folks.
And,
hey, while you're
oh,
up there, you want to throw the pizza?
The worst league, the worst team in the entire league is the Rockies. The 9-50 win loss.
I mean, I don't feel so bad about the Pirates now, but they could still do better.
and that's all we can hope for. It's not, what we can hope for is that ownership stops interfering and just allow the people as part of the organization that knows how to get players and winning teams. Just let it happen. Why would you not want that? Why would you? Because that's huge revenue for you if the team does better. I mean, holy shit, the team even if there's even playoff talks and there's just that threat of chance. That's gonna be huge for the whole city. That's just mad money for ownership. Why in the world? I mean, I would love to go get a fucking Pirates jersey, of somebody, but why should I? Because
I have a Cruise jersey.
I feel that it's just gonna, there was a guy I saw that he did like one of those Snick Snack videos, and it was Steeler jerseys, and it's players that we don't have anymore. It's like Pickens and like this guy, and he was just going jersey after jersey. He must have like 13 jerseys.
It was like gone.
So why? That's how I feel about the Pirates. Why would I go get a jersey when I know at some point it's gonna be gone?
I mean, we had Cruz for a while.
I will say.
I'm just saying.
Years.
Yeah, but I will say, I see what's killing us. So for games home, that are home that we won only 13 out of 16 home games. But for away, we've only won 9 out of 21. So we actually do better
at home.
Home, I mean, that's understandable. Home field advantage.
Yeah, but you got to win a little bit on the road. I mean, so what's their schedule like? So now you got to sit there and go, okay, what's their road schedule look like upcoming, and is that going to spell disaster?
I mean, as of how it's been, if we don't fuck it up, we should take this series against the Padres, which will help out since we're on the road with that. So that should put us at least helping out on the winning side. But we also go against the Astros and then Phillies. Oh, there's a bit of a... We're going to get our ass handed us.
Well, so is there anything else happening? I'm trying to well, Connor's upstairs because I think he wants to talk a little bit of hockey whenever it comes up with that. But like I said, I would like to, although at this day and age, it's I'd have to take out a loan just to be able to eat down at the freaking park or any freaking stadium anymore.
I mean, the fucking set of food I got was like $36.
That's what I'm saying.
They put like a whole new thing in there.
$36 and you can get yourself a meal at freaking Texas Roadhouse for God's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean pretty much it was a what the fuck was that?
Like
kibasi
something or other.
Steak, or it was like a Philly cheesesteak hoagie, but it was made of kibasi instead of steak. It was actually really fucking good. And then I got a bucket of fries. And a drink.
Yeah, $36. Yeah, can you imagine if
I mean, how much was the fucking beer?
For like $15 a can.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine how thinking, oh hey, let's you want to take Cassie and the baby to the park for a game.
Oh, dude, when we were there, they ended up doing Raise Your Simbas. From The Lion King, and they wanted you to raise up your baby and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, still, that's
like
hypothetically, that's if you're doing $35 for yourself, add that 3 times.
So the PR team's definitely trying to do their job to save the team. It's just you need to slow down on shoveling money toward the PR team and actually show it to the actual team.
Right. Yeah, I don't particularly really need to see more bobbleheads or hats or I am a fan of fireworks, but I'll take less fireworks for a little bit more talent on the field. Spread the wealth a little bit to the players.
They just need to work harder with their pitchers.
Ownership just needs to let things happen with your staff. Let your staff do the job. Let them, let your staff get the talent. Let your staff,
Let them do what they need to do. What you pay them to do.
Yeah.
I mean, like right now, Skeens is our fucking golden boy.
Yeah.
Like he is our ticket.
So all of our starting pitchers are actually really good.
But like you said, there is that possibility that he could get traded
Well,
away.
there's that fear within the city that can happen. There's a strong possibility because
but like
it's happened in the past.
his worth, like I feel like if they were to trade him out,
Oh, you could probably get 9 players for him.
uh,
I'm just saying, like maybe I'm just
9 shitty players.
I'm just, but I mean, or you could get whatever 3 to 4,
decent players.
quality players, and I don't. That's a tough call. Just want to.
I'd hate to see him go. I think we can try to build elsewhere.
See, that's what should have been. You've been leading up to is putting guys out on the field, and now you have Skeens. Now you work on getting, maybe another strong starter, stronger bullpen, whatever. But by the time you turn around, it's something of something that just makes you go, well, it's the Pirates.
Yeah.
You need help, dude? So just keep in mind that oven is a little bit different. So if they take 13 minutes at the 8-minute mark, you're gonna have to check on them because it's a little bit different.
They're both at least 20. So.
But
so
pretty
halfway through to check them.
According to recent sources,
So
the Pirates' game plan is to build around Skeens and not trade him. So
yeah, I mean any
They're
organization would do
they're
that.
actually using their fucking brain.
Any organization would be smart to do that, but
Well, remember,
when
we're also
ownership
talking about the
interjects,
well, we have a few decent weapons. Okay, like I said, our golden boy is fucking Skeens.
right? So
But then
now
we have Cruz, we
have
have
Cruz.
Reynolds, we have
Okay.
Kutch. I mean,
Kutch isn't going to be around forever.
No, he's not.
Which
So-
is great. We have him now. That's great, but he's not going to be around forever.
He's doing shit now.
So you take that away, and now you have 3.
And then we got Fam. He's coming up a little bit.
We got
Now
Joey
it's like-
Buck
now's the
recently
time to
back
kind
into
of-
fling.
Throw a few decent ringers in there to, some veteran leadership, someone is to kind of, just kind of nudge. They need a little nudge.
Yeah,
They
a little
need-
push.
and you need at least another starting pitcher you can count on. I mean, every team that's ever been truly successful has had, one of those golden boys and someone else you could kind of feel confident about that's going to start another game for you. And then you got your couple of Joe jobbers, but also at least above average, almost above average bullpen thereof. That's where you're gonna draw in. That's where you're gonna draw the fans in. That's where that's when I come back and sit and watch a game. And then take out a loan so I can eat.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure we touched base on everything with baseball.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else. I did see a thing. It was Cruz's, Ellie De La Cruz's
Okay.
sister passed recently, and
Sorry.
he decided to continue playing baseball, and he hit a home run today, 2-hit home run. And the moment he noticed that the ball was going to be a home run, he looked up into the sky and did a heart hands gesture, which is cool. Of course, he stuck through and played. He could have took the day off. I don't think anybody would have judged him.
No.
Family shit is important. But he wanted to play some ball, keep his mind positive, and he fucking killed a ball and, made out to his sister, which I think is fucking, very, very nice.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about Ellie is he's a monster on the field. So
He's one of the fastest motherfuckers on that field.
this man
We
ran
need him.
all the way from second base to snag a foul ball.
No, I thought you were talking about whenever he stole fucking home.
Oh,
He stole first, then he stole second, and then he stole home. Is he literally went first, second, stole those, and then he went all the way from second to home within 2 plays.
Yeah,
I can't remember if that was on us or not. I want to say yeah, but
I knew he stole second.
I think that was last year he did that. If I can spell his fucking name right.
Should autocorrect it for you.
It ain't gonna autocorrect that for me. Yeah, it was last year, 26th. Alright, never mind. It was March. I don't want to see I just want to see what the fuck the.
Better? All good? Come on, big baby.
How you doing, Cruz? There's a guy from this place. Cincinnati was trailing 5-0 in the 6th inning, 2 outs, when Dele Cruz drove a 3-2 fastball from Italian for his 2-run home run. Blah, 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 blah.
Hello.
Oh, here we go. There's a video of it. We'll fucking play it. So, ball went over, jumped, but he ran from second to third to home.
Almost all the way around, yeah.
Okay, I'll
What's
show
up,
you.
man?
Sorry.
Something. Yeah, I get all the.
I forgot you can't see on the back of the phone.
Is this video?
No, it's just from Statcast. It's like a GIF. They suck. They're cool, but they suck. Why the fuck did they decide, hey, we're gonna go read about the Mets now? I'm like, what?
Farted.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean that pretty much.
So yeah, that wraps baseball pretty much up.
I mean, I haven't really heard much about any of the other teams. A little bit about the Yankees. A little bit about the 2 shittiest teams we have in the league.
Colorado's just something else.
Colorado.
9 for 50. I can't.
What the fuck do they even have?
So who's even their star player? Like, it'd be funny if it's their catcher.
Who's on the roster?
The only one I know is Jake Bird, and that's because I pulled him on fucking MLB and I thought his name was funny. They have one of our old fucking catchers, Jacob Stallings.
Well, no wonder why they're doing shitty.
They literally have like nobody really. They really have fucking like nobody. That's why they're doing so shit. They don't have shit. No, but they put up 3 points today.
Well, that's a
They lost
something.
today against the Mets.
Yeah, they tried. They only lost by 2 points. They give them their overall win loss is making the Pirates look fucking like an all-star team. I mean,
True.
I mean, we have all-star
I want
players.
to see. I want to see the Pirates face Colorado. See how that goes.
We do. I believe we do in August.
Oh, we do.
I believe it's home too.
That's gonna be hilarious. But one of the worst teams versus the Pirates have been very just
Like
inconsistent.
August, it's home. No, it's at Colorado. Fuck.
Oh, it's at Colorado. Oh.
We might lose.
Yeah, we might lose.
Wait, they come home, and there's a fireworks night and a free T-shirt, and then if we go to the 24th, there's Sesame Street Day.
Oh, we might win then. Oh, we're gonna win. All right. I like the sound of that.
Fuck, we might have to go that Saturday. We ain't going to work. 6:40.
I mean, we can go straight from work.
We get a T-shirt.
We get off at 6.
I would love it for a T-shirt. Because everything else is
Yeah,
too
we take care of
expensive.
that. Huh?
Because I would love it for a T-shirt because everything else is expensive. I'm joking.
Well,
Glove,
that's
it's
how
$100.
we get the free T-shirts. We pay up on everything else.
Sure.
The bobbleheads, the T-shirts.
What is the T-shirt?
What do you mean? Bobblehead's right here.
You're damn right. Oh, there's also the pregame block party that day too.
Oh yeah. Sounds like a hell of a night.
You get a band and a fucking T-shirt. I want to see the fucking T-shirt.
No T-shirt for you.
Fucking not. Fucking website shit too.
Well, it's the Pirates for you.
Number of tickets.
16.
Done. Fuck are we sitting up here? Honestly, not that bad. I mean, $36 a ticket.
Dude, that was as much as my fucking meal.
And we'd be in Chelsea.
That's as much as
Ladies and
McDonald's.
gentlemen, for the price of one Steelers ticket, you can buy a whole
No, Pirate
meal.
ticket.
For the
Pirate ticket. Sorry, wrong team.
You know why it's so cheap?
For the price of one Pirate ticket, you can get McDonald's.
Fucker, we're getting a clubhouse.
Oh God.
You know, funny thing is we did say that.
Bro, the cheapest tickets is literally like $35 fucking dollars. I mean, they're in the upper fucking bleachers, but you know.
I mean, fuck it, we ball, right?
How much you guys want for a fucking club?
Like $800.
Oh, for fucking sure.
Too much for my bank account. That's what I'm gonna say.
Ticket price. Oh, the most expensive is $387.
Oh, maybe I can't afford it after all.
No tickets are free.
The fuck?
Come on. Fucking website work. Alright, let's try 360. I cannot find it. How about one? Here we go. 336. See, 19. Right at home plate. You get the comfortable ass seats.
Yeah. What about boxes?
Oh, another ticket we need to get. We need to get the concession tickets. Get free food.
Jesus.
Fucking piece of shit.
Well, while Sage is trying to look at numbers here, we'll probably touch
What are
base
numbers?
back on that. But we are actually going to move on to hockey. So, as people probably already know, we had the Oilers and Dallas faced off
Wow.
for the Western Conference Final. Edmonton actually took that in 5 games.
Yeah, 4-1, and we all kind of were like, "Oh, could go to Game 7," you know, back and forth.
I mean-
now, they straight fucking whipped our ass.
Going off of what Taco said, he was saying Dallas all the way. Game 7, Dallas going to the Stanley Cup Final, taking the Stanley Cup.
Yep. He
And-
sure did say that.
Boy, he was fucking wrong.
Wrong. Well, Edmonton got hot. They came out and they were not playing around.
I mean,
Not one bit. So
for the last few matchups that they've had, going from round 1, round 2 in Western Conference Final. Round 1, 4-2 in the series. Round 2, 4-1 in the series. Western Conference, 4-1 in the series. So they're coming in pretty hot. Then we also had Florida, who ended up beating out Toronto, going to the Eastern Conference Final. And then Florida beat out Carolina
in 5 games.
In 5 games.
And now they're meeting in the Stanley Cup Final. And this is actually a rematch.
Yeah, it's Stanley Cup Final, Game 8.
So
Yeah, so another rematch between Florida and Edmonton, which Florida won.
last year's, yeah.
You know that series. So oddly enough, then 16 games. Connor McDavid has 26 points. 20 of those are assists. So he is pushed in that clutch, shifted that freaking gear, and has kind of taken charge. And he's like, he's like, you know, we as in Edmonton are, you know,
we're going to win this thing.
You know.
Well,
And I'm thinking that this will be a tough series between these two teams once again. I want to say that Edmonton, having this momentum like they have since the first round, that they will prevail in this series. I think this series will go 6 games. I don't think it's going to go 5 games. I don't see someone winning this, 4-1, but I think Edmonton with their momentum may actually take this in 6.
Florida is a tough opponent.
They are.
I mean, as you've seen, but they also had a tough road to get here a little bit. I mean, they beat Tampa 4-1 in round 1, and then they beat Toronto 4-3. They went to Game 7.
Yeah.
And in that final game, they won, what was it, 6-1? Something like that.
I don't remember. I don't recall.
I got it. What, their final game?
Yeah.
2-1.
Yeah, it was 6-1.
Oh, you're talking about for this year. I talking about last year for a second. I don't know why.
And then they go and they beat the Canes 4-1 in the Eastern Conference. So, I mean, I think the only tough opponent that they had was in round 2 against
Toronto.
And that's because Toronto really, really wanted it.
So,
they didn't win enough.
but the thing is that Florida has depth. Like Taco explained during round 1, Florida has the depth compared to like Edmonton. I mean, they got what? McDavid and Draisaitl, and like those are their 2 strongest players. So, but if you get McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice at the same time, then you'll watch the fuck out.
Yeah.
So, like, and then Florida goes and picks up the Rat in a trade. So, I mean, I don't know how much he's been benefiting the Panthers, but...
Well, here's something that's interesting and funny, is that as far as shutouts go in this playoff series, both Bobrovsky and Skinner each have 3. So...
Yeah, both goalies.
So both goalies are hot, they're warm at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's all like, I would say it is going to probably, well, if McDavid and Draisaitl just completely take over, and we've seen singular players take over, and which sort of trickles down to the rest of the team, that they just kind of get on that train and roll with it. But that's the way I feel. The way I feel is McDavid is, he's feeling it. He wants it. He's hungry for it. And when people are hungry for it, man, they will explode.
Super fucking pissed last year.
Sure.
Like this man did not look happy to come out and receive his award when they called him out of the locker. He just was like pissed. He accepted it, smiled real quick, and walked back in.
Well, it reminds me of Penguins Detroit. Same kind of situation.
Yeah.
Penguins came back after losing to Detroit, and they were pissed. Were not happy. And they came back and just put a skate to mouth, put foot to ass. And I think that's what McDavid's going to do. He's going to put foot to ass.
Well, here's the thing, is there was a post by the Spittin' Chicklets. They were like, tag an Oilers fan to ruin their day. McDavid had a word with the training staff and left practice early today.
Maybe he had the
rest
shit.
of the group's still out there.
Maybe he had the poops. Stuff happens, man. Maybe he had the poopies.
I don't think it was that kind of word. But, and then a little fun fact about the Stanley Cup. Edmonton and Florida is the furthest distance between the Stanley Cup final opponents all time, and now it's happening for the second straight year.
Yep.
So, in between is 2,541 miles between Edmonton and Florida.
That's a long trip.
Sure is.
That's a hell of a long trip.
Yeah, good thing they got the money for the Jets.
That means it's ready, but I already threw him in. So, we'll have to check on him in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got a thing here where through the conference finals, for the top 7 point leaders, 4 of them are from Edmonton, and only 1 of them is from Florida. So, even though we're talking about Florida having depth, Edmonton, as far as it
one
looks,
of the point leaders Mikko Rantanen from
Dallas, yes.
Dallas, yeah.
One of them is Dallas. The other is Kyle Connor from Washington, I believe. Looks like
Kyle Connor.
Winnipeg. Winnipeg. Thank you.
I had to think about that real quick. I was like,
it's a W.
Starts with a W.
It's a W name.
You let her out.
But speaking
Just
of Washington,
watch for the cat.
the
Thank you,
Capitals
sorry.
sent an email to season ticket holders saying 2025 and 2026 will be Ovechkin's final year in the NHL. One final ride for the grade 8. So this season is going to be his last.
Now it's when you have to. Now it's when Pittsburgh pays attention to what's going to happen with Crosby and possibly Malkin. Not saying they'll retire, but
I forgot about that too. I ain't gonna lie.
well, it goes definitely without saying that, Ovechkin's definitely as they say, first ballot Hall of Famer. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that's interesting. There will be players in that age range that, what happens to Washington, when Ovechkin leaves. I mean, I know it's just one guy, but same to be said about Sid.
Well, we just had Fleury. He retired this season.
Right. Yeah.
And then next season we have Ovechkin.
Right.
And I feel like the season after we might
Could
be
be
looking
Sid.
at Sid.
Possibly.
Because
For sure.
he has, 2 years left on his contract?
You could be right. I don't know. Thank you. Did she do anything?
No, she was barking.
Oh, so you
Anyway,
just take her and just close the door.
I tried, but she was barking. But, so going off of about
You have to go outside?
the point leaders with
What do you want?
top 2 are McDavid and Leon.
What do you want?
There's also another stat here where for Connor McDavid's career in playoff games, 51% of his playoff games, he has 2+ point games. 27% 1 point, and then 22% of 0 points. So, I mean, yeah, this would just be another tough Stanley Cup match between two very tough teams.
Well,
Settle down.
while you were outside, we were talking about how this coming season, the 2025 and 26 season, is going to be Ovechkin's last season. And then he was just like, well, that goes to make you think, like, you know, now you got Crosby and Malkin, like, what's going to happen to them? Because as of right now, we have Fleury, who retired this season.
Yeah.
Ovechkin's going to retire at the end of the next season. Crosby ended up signing a 2-year extension with the Pens, extending his commitment through the 26-27 season. So that makes us kind of feel like he might retire at the end of the 26-27.
Yeah, if it's only a 2-year extension, then after
literally
that,
after next season, like it's literally going season by season. Like this season, Fleury. Next season, Ovechkin. Next season, Crosby.
yeah.
Yeah, right now Crosby's 37 years old.
Ovechkin's
He's
like,
no longer a kid.
no.
I wish he was. I wish he was still Sid the Kid.
Right.
He ain't the kid anymore. I mean, the question is, for at least Pittsburgh, it's just who's going to take the mantle?
Ovechkin's 39. So you're looking at, this age bracket here of players.
He'll be 40 when he retires.
Yeah.
And if Sid chooses to be, he'd be 39 when he retires. Right?
If he chooses to, retire in a couple of years, he'll be, close to 40. He'll be very, very close to 40 as well.
Well, we also have Chris Letang.
So
Evgeny Malkin.
Evgeny Malkin's 38.
Yeah, Malkin. I think once Crosby retires, I think like Malkin and Letang are gonna kind of
Anze Kopitar's 37.
No, there's Kopitar.
Chris Letang is 38. So there are some players that are aging that, probably, are probably very close to wanting to retire. And you can't blame them. They want to, can't play forever. A lot of us hope and wish they would be able to, but Lord knows I wish I was able to play forever. I miss the shit out of it. Oh, fucking dog! I'm gonna throw you through a wall. I swear to God. Come on.
Chris Letang
I'm not going upstairs.
Chris Letang signed a 6-year contract extension with the Penguins in July of 22. This contract runs through the 27-28 season,
which is the season after Crosby with his extension. So yeah, like I said, I mean, once Crosby retires, Letang and Malkin are gonna follow suit because they're all kind of.
What's that group?
They are the group, kind of like the Killer Bees of Steelers, where this one's kind of. They're the group of the Penguins. So it's just a matter of time at this point.
Evgeny's current NHL contract with the Penguins is a 4-year, $24.4 million extension with a cap hit of 6.1 per season. This contract was signed in 2022 and expires at the end of the 25-26 season. So his contract expires at the end of this season coming up.
Who's that?
Gino. So we have Gino, who is the 25-26 season. We have Crosby, who's the 26-27 season, and we have Letang, who is the 27-28 season.
Yeah, I don't see Letang going all the way till then. To be honest with you.
I mean, he still has that fucking heart condition too.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, you're looking at the next couple years, 2 to 3 years, where
they're gonna start dropping.
Yeah, They don't. It doesn't seem to be any plan set in place. Per se.
Honestly, I think they would retire from the NHL, but they won't retire from international.
No, probably not. No, because you only need to guys like that. You only need to really just show up when you need to show up. These guys have to worry about team meetings and travel and stuff like that. That wears, especially if you have a family. And now Ovi can do a lot of stuff, for him with his family. His
they
kids
still
and stuff.
do a lot of stuff with their kids.
Sure.
Like you've seen Fleury.
Sure. Yeah.
He's out on the ice with his kids.
Once that, once now he can pretty much kind of, do whatever at any point in time. How he can get up, go golfing, and still come back in time enough to do whatever. But no, there's these guys that are going to start to retire, and there's no, which thankfully we all had an opportunity to watch these guys play, these players play, and the greatness that they possess, and that's been fantastic.
But I feel like we're gonna get to the point where we're like the fucking Pirates.
It almost feels as if there's no future in sight at the moment.
No, we may have 2 years to maybe pick something up that can kind of hold us up.
I don't know if we can get lucky, that kind of lucky for a third time.
So if I remember right, Taco was saying how there's we do have somebody in minors who's promising. Can't remember if it was actually ours or if it was
It was a
else.
goalie.
Was it a goalie? I thought it was actually
It's a goalie, which is great, which is fantastic. But we've gotten mega lucky twice now with 2 phenomenal players.
We actually,
2.5.
at the end of this season, there's a lot of people going on FA. Like their contract was up.
Yeah, there's also is it baseball? There's something about the collection bargaining agreement too that whatever that is going to go on. A lot of people think they're going to go on strike. I don't recall. I briefly heard something. I don't know what sport it was. I'll be honest with you. It was very, very brief. I'm talking 17 seconds worth, but
several notable NHL player contracts are expiring at the end of the 24-25 season, including those of Mitch Marner from Toronto, Mikko Rantanen, who's on Dallas,
right,
Brad Marchand, who's on Florida, and John Tavares, who's on Toronto. These players are set to become unrestricted FAs on July 1st of 25.
A lot of shit's gonna go down on my birthday.
Where's mine?
What am I doing in 10 minutes?
Is the bottom like a nice golden brown, or is it still?
It's still.
Okay. And then when they get done and we pull them out, the one that's done we could put on
That was last year.
the foil, and then put the other one in
Where'd you get
for
that
that
AI bullshit up top?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll give another
Yeah, that just pulls whatever.
give
top
another 8
one
minutes or
fuck.
so.
Well, technically, this is the 24-25 season.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I was right.
Go lay down. I don't know what you want, but go lay down.
So I can probably see. I could see Toronto re-sign, trying to work something together with Marner.
Well,
Because
yeah, probably. I don't know about Tavares. They
I don't
may
know,
just
probably.
kind of wait things out, but I think
Tavares
Toronto
is
would.
their captain.
Oh, it's Matthews.
No, he's an A.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, all the things, a lot of Stranger Things. Well, a lot of more, more Stranger Things happen in the NFL than NHL, but
Boston, they traded their captain.
right.
Like they just assigned him captaincy and then in this year they went and traded him.
Right. Right.
So
So
nothing's
it's
impossible.
not, you know, it's
But
not below the
he
realm.
signed a 1 year. Miko signed a 1 year. Tavares is, I think his was a 6 or 4 year that ended, or is ending at the end of the season.
Well, I'm sure these players obviously will be in some sort of talks.
Oh yeah.
You know, teams may say, "Hey, love to have you back," or "Hey, this is what we got. If you want to, you know, search else." It's all dependent on
Well,
like for Dallas. I'm sure Dallas will have some. Well, same with Toronto. They'll have the means to and you know to probably pay these guys for whatever they're looking for. But
well, I think with how Dallas has played and how Miko has played on Dallas, I think they're going to re-sign him.
yeah,
For Toronto, I think they might actually let Marner go
okay.
because it was majority of Matthews and Nylander who were performing well, and then they got their captain Tavares.
Real quick question: where do you think Marner would end up? Like, where would you like to see him go? Where do you think he would realistically
Well,
end up?
there was already talk about.
So it'd be nice, but
Well, you look at it this way: our GM now is Toronto's old GM. And literally, he has already thought and talked about bringing Toronto staff over to our team. So, I know I'm off camera right now, but I'm still here. I'm just talking.
here, come sit on my lap.
Go lay down.
No, it's good.
You can sit on this one. This one's my good one.
I just feel better turning this way and talking to you
Yeah,
guys
no.
than sitting like this. And
So, guys,
So-
90-degree angle. What's up?
what do you guys think of Marner?
so, I'm
Man,
not
eh?
I think he's gonna end up on the Florida Panthers. I don't know why, but
I think
Maybe go like the
that
Rangers or some shit.
they're going to
Fuck, he's going to the
try
Packers.
to take Marner.
They'll probably. It's possible Penguins may make an offer if Marner ends up in the free agency pool.
I mean,
But so will other teams make him an offer too.
And some who
He-
probably have
he's
some big
definitely gonna
bucks.
get offers.
So any of those individual, any of those players that end up in the free agency pool, man, dude, that is just going to be, you know, particularly like for Miko.
well, you look at it this way: Mitch Marner is 28 years old.
Yeah, he still has some time.
Yeah,
He still got some time. He could, yeah,
that's what we need because we
Right.
got
We
our
gotta-
star players
yeah.
that don't have time.
right,
Yeah.
right.
As we were just talking about,
Right.
Crosby in 2 years, Malkin could be at the end of next season. Letang, he could be within the next 2 seasons. So they're gonna drop like flies, and the Penguins need to realize the urgency of actually getting, you know, star players, because all the other players we have, like, yeah, we got Brian Rust. He's a decent player. We also picked up Ekman Larson. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that.
I think I was all.
No, it's not Ekman Larson. It's Eric Carlson.
I know we picked him up, beginning of this year? Last year, some
Last year.
thing.
Um,
Even then, I haven't
he's
heard
a
much about
defensive pair with Letang, I think.
Yeah, I
Letang.
haven't really heard much
He
about
was
him.
the star
though.
defenseman from the Sharks.
No, I know
that
Carlson.
Yeah.
I
I don't know why I said Ekman Larson. I was thinking EK. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh, like, I know Carlson. Like, I know he's been a good player, but I haven't heard much about him since he's came to Pittsburgh.
Well, another thing is you know, Mark Stone from the Golden Knights. I think he's on the Golden Knights.
Go lay down.
Kings.
I don't know what you want. Go lay down.
Yeah, no, Mark Stone's on the Golden Knights. He's going FA.
You're getting ridiculous. I'm not
And
going
then we
upstairs.
got Hanze Kopitar from the Kings, who's going FA. So there's going to be a lot of these players that are going FA. I think, you know, our best option would probably be Marner. If we were to pick up somebody from FA, it would be Marner.
yeah. I mean, someone who's young and has talent that could take, that could
Take over
take the
for
mantle
Crosby
of
or-
Sidney Crosby.
Because, like,
I mean, he would be one of the only ones who could potentially be able to.
Yeah, Eric Carlson. Oh, that's funny.
They did sign someone else though. I
That's
don't know who he is, but Mikhail Island, something like that.
somebody I don't know either. But to put it into perspective, Marner's 28, but John Tavares is 34. Are we going to go and grab another old guy? And let
Right.
him sit
Well,
here for,
is Toronto going to want to hold on to another old guy?
yeah. So,
I mean, if I was,
because old
if I
guy's
was
going to ask for
Pittsburgh, I
some
would
money.
be young.
He's going to want a little bit of insurance, as any aging veteran wants. He's like,
I mean,
well, yeah, I wouldn't mind coming to your team, but
I mean, to put it in
I'm
there,
getting, I'm want a little bit of
It's like- it's kinda
insurance.
like-
I also mentioned Anze Kopitar.
Yeah, he's
and
getting up there in age.
He's
going
also
on FA as
kind of
well,
old though.
Yeah,
but he's 37.
right.
He doesn't have much longer.
Would I like to see any of those players, even if it's on a 1-year deal? Yes. Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and then another player, Mark Stone, he's going FA.
Right.
He's 33.
Right.
He's a bit younger,
A little bit.
but
Yeah, I mean,
he's
he's
still not a
Also
Marner.
a pretty fair player.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
I think he's
It would help
a,
with the defense
I think he's a defenseman.
because he is a pretty.
He's
Yeah,
a pretty
kinda
solid defenseman.
solid,
Now,
solid
I mean,
defenseman.
our defensemen are, Carlson, Letang, P.O. Joseph, Matt Grilazilzic, Sebastian Aho, and Ryan Graves, and Vladislav Kolichnik.
Bless you.
Thank you. Ryan Shea. Yeah, would I like to see Mark Stone in a Pens uniform to help out the defensive corps? Sure. Would I like to see Kopitar or Marner or Tavares in a Pens uniform?
My thing is
Kinda, yeah.
once again, he's the captain of the Golden Knights. So,
Well, I'm just saying, if he's going to go within free agency and you have a shot at getting some sort of upgrade and from any of those players, yeah, I'm not going to complain. Even if it's just one of them, even if it is, like I said, Tavares or Kopitar or any of them.
I mean, say we sign Mark Stone
Okay.
at the end of the season.
Okay.
He's a right wing. You'll put him, first line with Crosby?
Who cares where you put
I
him?
mean, do you...
First or second line, who cares?
Yeah.
He's going to produce.
I mean,
when you want to see that production out of Sid and Mark Stone,
well, he has 112 games played with 41 goals and 44 assists.
it's a 41 goal scorer.
That's
Imagine him on Sid's line.
that's a career.
Oh, that's career.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mid-season.
Fine season. 66 game played. 19 goals, 48 assists.
Okay, he's
at
a near
67 points.
he's a near 20 goal scorer.
Yeah.
He's on the fucking Golden Knights.
It was showing me
You know,
playoffs.
that's okay.
He had 4 goals and 4 assists. In the playoffs.
Again, you put him on that line with Sid.
Well, I'm trying to think of the Penguins lineup right now. Like, who is their current right wing on the first line?
Some schmuck.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Who is their right winger?
Is it Rust or is he left wing?
I thought Russ left, or did he not?
Rust. It's Rust.
Oh, Rust is their right
So
wing.
who would be?
Yeah.
So who's on the left?
I don't know. Some schmuckatelli.
So,
I mean, if you look at the Pens lineup, they wouldn't go wrong with
No
getting any of
names,
those
got
players.
it.
A bunch of random motherfuckers. We have random eyes.
bunch of mother truckers.
They
That's what we
wouldn't.
got.
It wouldn't go wrong with picking up.
Amama, Connor Duar,
Yeah,
and Rutger.
Rutger Smith,
Actually, we drafted him.
Rutger Schmuckers. It doesn't matter. Any one of those said players is going to be an upgrade by whom they are. Stone, Kopitar, Tavares, Marner.
But my thing is like I was looking a little more longer term.
I don't know those particular individuals, other than maybe Marner. would actually be long term. I think most of those players are probably going to look for the dollar sign for 1 year, maybe 2 years tops. You know,
I mean,
and if those 1 year, if it's 1 year, any of those players mentioned, I'm okay with.
but you know, you go and you have conversation with them, and it's like, you know, Crosby could be leaving in 2 years, and you know, you could be our new star player and
New
all this
poster
and that.
boy.
New poster boy, pretty much. I mean,
It seems, yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
now
Maybe.
in my eyes, you know, with being closer in age to Marner, like in that sport, I would be like, I could be the star player.
But
of the
imagine,
team.
well, see, even with the personnel we have, it really, to me, it still doesn't seem very enticing of a conversation for any of those players to say. Most of those guys, if they, let's just say they all do test the free agency pool, they are going to test markets that are going, that they feel are going to have a high chance, a high probability of making the playoffs. So you bring up that, screenshot and see the teams that are in the playoffs this year. Dallas and Edmonton and Florida and Toronto, so on and so on and so on and so forth. They're not going to look. They may look at Pittsburgh and go, well, I can get a chance to play with Sid and Malkin and whatever and whatnot. That would be nice, but where are they going really?
Where
You
are
know,
they going to be in 5 years when?
If I'm going to
Crosby,
sign
everybody's
this 1 year deal, so my point being, imagine somebody like Kopitar going, boy, I could sit there and go to Pittsburgh, play with Sid, maybe, just maybe help them bolster that chance of getting into the playoffs. But is it really that enticing?
I mean, you know, you make a good pair or a good enough line picking up a free agent or two, because there's a lot of fucking stars going on free agent right now. Not Dallas stars, but like star players.
Yeah, star players that are.
Because like I went and pulled up a few more players. You got Sam Bennett, Brock Besser, Nikolai Ehlers. I mean, those three players on top of Mark Stone, Anze Kopitar,
Yeah.
Mitch Marner,
And that's-
John Tavares.
That's if they actually reach the free agency pool,
Because
and
they might get offered something before.
right, if they don't get offered before that, right? Like I said, Dallas would be stupid as shit not to offer Rantanen something. If he's like, hey, I want 1 year, 19.3 million or something, whatever. I don't know what he's getting, but something outlandish. I have to sit there and go, oh, yeah, I really do want you to come back. So they may go that route, but yeah, I'm just saying.
I have the full list of everyone going FA.
Well,
if
that
they're
are
not signed at the end of the year.
Sure, good.
We got, starting off at the top of the list, we already talked about John Tavares, Mitch Marner. We got Jamie Benn from Dallas, Nicholas Backstrom from Washington, Brett Burns from Carolina,
Yeah.
Aaron Ekblad from Florida. We have Ivan Provorov, Brock Besser from Vancouver, Claude Giroux from Ottawa, Jeff Petrie. That man just goes everywhere, dude. He is the NHL whore.
Yeah.
He was on fucking Edmonton last year.
Yeah.
He's going FA from Detroit.
Yeah.
Brad Marchand from Florida. Nikolai Ehlers from Winnipeg. Brock Nelson from Colorado. And then Vladislav Gavrikov. Fuck that.
You're close enough.
Some guy from the Kings, Andrew Mangapane from
What the
Washington.
fuck did you just say?
I don't know.
Orangutan?
Yeah, I was going to say you did not say that right at all.
How do you go ahead?
No, I'm not going to attempt it. I'm just saying, I know you were wrong.
Let me see.
Yeah. Mangipane?
Right? Like he was wrong, but
Yeah.
like
Right. Window pane, whatever his name is.
And then we got T.J. Oshie from Washington.
Washington.
Andre Kuzmenko from the Kings. Yanni Gourde from Tampa. Kyle Polomeri from the Islanders. Robin fucking Leonard from the Knights. I mean, that could be a decent snag. You know, our net isn't looking that good right now. Our attendees.
Huh.
Then we have Kyle Pedersen from Philly. Mikael Granlund from Dallas. Riley Smith from Vegas. Val Huso from.
So there's a lot of.
Anaheim's not.
There's
from Anaheim.
A good fair amount of talent that at the moment, looking at it as we are today, that could be available on a free agency.
Those are all unrestricted FAs.
Yeah.
But then you get into restricted FA where you have Noah Dobson from the Islanders, Evan Bouchard from Edmonton, Keandre Miller from the Rangers, Bowen Byram. Dude, if we could get Byram, that would be fucking nuts. From Buffalo, Mason McTavish from Anaheim. Yeah, those are just a few restricted. Sorry, I'm looking for like bigger
names that people that you, the viewers, may know.
Luke Hughes, Quinn Hughes' younger brother,
Yeah.
and Jack Hughes.
That'd be nice. Get a Hughes brother on our team. I have at least one, even though it might be the oddball, but
Dude, I seen Jack Quinn. I thought I just seen Jack Hughes and Quinn Hughes on here. I was like, you fucking snag all three of them. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people going fucking FA.
No, FA is usually always loaded, but it's usually not a lot of known people. Like, you'll get your known people that are sprinkled in, but like, there's definitely more stars and well-known players in FA this year.
I mean, there's also Corey Perry, right wing for Edmonton.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back.
Which that could possibly change depending on how the finals finish. If Edmonton wins, they might. And if he's like one of the star players in the fucking game,
Kasperi Kapanen from the Oilers as well.
That's Islanders. What is that about? That's Buffalo.
Oh, really?
Never mind. Yeah, I just seen the circle and I was like, fucking Islanders?
No. Yeah, I mean, the rest of his list is just kind of like...
Bunch of fucking nobodies.
I wouldn't say nobody's, like... We got Perry Oliver Joseph from the Penguins, who's going restricted FA. Jack Thompson.
I think we'd all have a heart attack if we seen Sid's name on there.
No, he's not going to FA. It's
Oh, no
2
shit.
more years on his contract.
Nah, and after that, either it's he's gonna stay and pull a Tom Brady, but NHL wise, or he's
I
gonna.
think he'll just retire and then just play internationally.
So he's definitely put his time and effort into the game.
Or honestly, he might become a fucking coach. Alex LaFleur.
Sounds familiar. Fucking fair enough.
Matthew Murray from Toronto.
Really?
I thought that said. Oh, I said Austin Matthew. I seen Matthew. I was like, please.
No, I think he was just not like just this past year, but I'm pretty sure he was just re-signed. That's what I was searching for. I forgot. So yeah, at the beginning of this year, Matthew started his 4-year contract worth $53 million. So yeah, he's not gonna be on there for he's not gonna be there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
He won't be if his contract ends 2027. So I mean, something could happen there, but I honestly don't see it. He's essentially Sidney Crosby of the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs. So if he leaves there, it's gonna be like Sid's fucking leaving Pittsburgh. It's gonna fucking rock Toronto.
Absolutely.
Like I could definitely see if they don't re-sign Marner, I could see that shaking a few heads in fucking Toronto.
I don't know. I mean, it would be nice to see the Penguins pick up a few FAs.
Oh, it'd be great to see Marner in our Penn jersey, but if Toronto is smart, they try to offer him something just to try to keep him. But if he does end up going to a different team, he goes to another team, there's nothing really.
I mean, how their playoff run was this year, I would, say stick with what you got. Maybe look into a few FAs yourself.
How did Marner perform in the fucking playoffs? I wasn't like paying attention to him.
I have no idea. I mean, I think he has like maybe 4 or 5 points.
Gotta put the season. Cause it's like, here's his career. So he had 15 total points, 11 assists, 4 goals.
In the playoffs?
Yes, in the 2024-2025 NHL playoffs. He had his time on ice was 22 minutes and 11 seconds. So he did, in my opinion, for not being very knowledgeable in hockey, I think he did pretty good.
All right, gentlemen.
4 goals and how many assists?
11.
I mean,
He
15
had.
points.
Pizza's kind of, it's done,
No,
but
I mean, it did go off a little bit ago.
well, he put it in for 20. I thought he said 10, so I put him in for another 10. So it was 30 minutes here and there for it. This is why we need women in the kitchen. What? Who said that?
overall, he had 27 games, 75 assists, 102 points.
Okay.
According to ESPN.
We looking at free agents?
Yeah,
Yeah, we were looking at Marner's stats for the playoffs. Because, like, with how good their run was this season, I wouldn't change anything. I mean, if anything, I would try to add more weapons. Because, like, they haven't done anything since the fucking Penguins were a team. Now, it's not the Penguins' fault that they haven't gone anywhere, but, like, since the Penguins were founded, they haven't done anything.
I thought they won a Stanley Cup or something at some point.
Who, Toronto?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Not I don't even think they even have one.
Wow. I thought they were at least like in one or something. I don't know. I can't remember all past Stanley Cups. Yeah, so I was trying to look at some of the free agents for the upcoming season, for next season.
Apparently it says I won 13. According to Google's AI bullshit. The Maple Leafs have won 13 Stanley Cup championships. Second only to the 24 championships of their primary rival, the Canadiens. Montreal Canadiens.
Huh.
They won their last championship in 1967.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So it's technically, at this point, it's been...
They were good when they were founded, but then after that, they suck.
Yeah, they have really... They're definitely become the... I mean, I can't really say they become the Pirates of the NHL because... at least they're still getting to the playoffs.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like the Steelers, honestly.
They're not technically a bad
They can
team.
get to the playoffs, but they can't finish through.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Or like the Bills in football terms, where they do really well, but then somehow lose in the fucking championship game.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, you put them like the Pirates and shit. The Pirates haven't won anything since what, the fucking 70s? 75 was the last time we
So it's fucking cavemen were born, you know.
Yeah, when we had the primetime team back in the day,
Yeah, like we had prime fucking McCutcheon, basically.
Bro, McCutcheon was in somebody's fucking... No, wait. He might not have been. He might have... No, he was definitely in somebody's nuts, I think. I don't think McCutcheon was maybe... I don't know. When the fuck was Cutcheon?
So... yeah, we searched it up. So Maple Leafs they have 13 Stanley Cups, but their last one was in, like, what, 1964?
Oh, yeah, he was born 11 years after. If I remember... If 1975 is our last time we won the World Series as the Pirates.
Oh. Well, like, I know they've definitely been in one after that at some point, but they probably just didn't win.
The last time we were in the playoffs was 2013, which was we did have Kutch. So our last win was 1979. My dad was born, and we fucking said, fuck it. So yeah, if we're like...
They haven't won one since my parents have been fucking born. Basically.
Bro, we might not see one till our fucking great-great-grandchildren are fucking born. Roberto's gonna be screaming from the fucking heavens, I believed in you guys. It might have took 102 years, but we did it. We finally got that fucking flag.
But yeah, no, so I was also trying to say...
Never know. They could just fucking go and turn things around.
I mean, like I always say, yeah, we might not have like the best start. We're like, I've noticed we typically do better like mid-season. Like we'll get really good during mid-season, but then we don't have a good beginning or end to our seasons, and that's what fucks us. So whenever we get like everybody gets the shit.
To be honest,
talking,
that's just typical Pittsburgh. Like we don't usually always do it in the beginning, but then we'll have like this great fucking run, and then we just say fuck it. It just we win some, lose some. Someone makes it to a playoff, whichever fucking sport, and then that's it.
I've realized Pittsburgh needs we need to become the old fan base from like the 70s. We need to bring back smoking in the stadiums. We need the drunken fans 24/7.
I forget who it was, but I saw a thing where some NFL star, ex-star, there's like back-to-back games he smoked weed for both of them and fucking ran for 300 yards in both games.
So
but that was it. Like he did that twice, and that was it.
Cody Bellinger fucking takes gummies.
Yeah, he takes edibles before his games. And
That's
there's
what we
jokes.
need.
That's the jokes. Is he pops his gummies like in between while he's in the dugout, just to fucking be ready to be. All right, there's the ball, caught. Or all right, I'm real focused. I'm going to see the ball and then I'm going to hit the ball.
Oh, I got a bat.
Holy fuck! I'm a baseball player. Dad, I did it.
Dad, I did it.
Do you love me now, Dad?
Yeah, so I was trying to look at some free agents for the next season, and I believe Malkin will be one of them, like you said. So, do you think they'll try and resign him, or do you think they'll just let him go?
I think he's going to retire.
Retire? Or, yeah, that's kind of what I slightly meant in a simple, slap away.
I feel like there's going to be a random... Fuck it, I'm going to go try another team for a year and then retire. Or come back as a Penguin for a year. Then retire.
Yeah, I'm going to go to a different team to retire with them because
Fuck
they're my legacy, not this fuck-ass team.
Florida if they win the cup, so he can go back and finally get a cup again.
He's gonna hold it. He's gonna.
I need it to be the old days.
So he's gonna text him. Can I hold it? No.
But guys, I participated. No.
Oh yeah, might go grab some pizza.
Yeah, it's a bird, so.
Just careful. The one is very tough.
Oopsies. My bad. This is why I'm not allowed in the kitchen. I can't cook. Or bake or... Yeah, whatever.
This is what happens whenever you just leave guys at home. We try to make food and we fuck it up. Our ladies are down in Florida right now.
So hopefully they'll be rooting for the Panthers, maybe. For not for the Stanley Cup. But I was trying to look and... Yeah, so I know we got like 3 guys so far. Like, so from what I saw, we have 3 like upcoming free agents. Who they'll probably all test the market. Yeah, it kind of seems like these couple years, at least for Pittsburgh, since we're Pittsburgh natives, just seems like it's just an odd rebuild for all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we mentioned with the Penguins, Sidney will leave shortly, Malkin, Letang. So once they're gone, we're going to have to try and find someone or draft someone. Steelers are kind of already up there with doing that. And then, who knows what the Pirates will do, because right now that's all about just the ownership. So, we'll see what direction that goes, whether they try and do better or go for worse. Excuse me. But
Connor,
I'm coming.
hey bud,
Hang on.
you want to get some pie?
Hi.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Yeah, that's fine.
Rest of them done.
Huh?
Rest of them are done. Alright, now welcome to the stream where you see me eat pizza.
It's okay.
I'll do whatever. I can do any of the 3 without a problem. So it's all good. Take whatever you're going to take for. You sure?
The next few years are going to definitely change for Pittsburgh.
So for hockey, it's going to be... I definitely see dark times coming. Unless we do decide to change.
Bad joke.
No, but we're definitely going to be seeing some Pirates level shit from Penguins if nothing changes.
Well, with the
I
Pirates...
have faith in our GM.
I said with the Pirates, it's just the ownership. It's literally the owner who is the biggest fucking problem right now.
Here, hold a picture of him real quick. We can look at his face and laugh at it, because I think it looks fucking stupid.
Who's that, Bob Dunning?
Yeah, he looks so fucking
He
stupid.
looks like a nerd.
Anytime I see a picture of him, I think he looks like a guy. He looks like a guy who went to medical school, failed, and then bought a fucking baseball team.
I think that caps lock on, dude. Order all the...
I was going to say, what do you think? Something?
Yeah, but...
What do you think? Something? Look at this fucking dumbass.
Actually...
Bob be nuttin'!
Like, look at him without his fucking glasses. I have a picture of him right there. Go look at him. He's like, ugh.
It looks like a turtle.
I don't know why I'm here, but
we
I'm
will
here.
lose today, but it's fine because I get money. Oh, I didn't know you were one of the Pirates.
You alright?
It's not easy going up and down.
So we went to search you up, and this is what we found.
That's messed up. It's a little bit hurtful.
His name is Bob Nutty.
Oh, great.
Pizza time.
All you're gonna hear is just crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah, pizza's a little too well done here, as we mentioned.
And my fat ass is getting more.
And then there's like a cheese pizza left.
Oh, fuck it, I'm getting it.
Because we some hungry pup mother truckers. What he said.
In 2 hours. Another 2-hour podcast.
So I guess to try and fill some space here, I don't know if you guys have kind of seen, but football-wise, with some, most of the teams trying to sign their, all their picks and stuff of who they drafted. As far as I know, the Bengals have yet to sign their first-round pick, Shamar Stewart. Whatever his name is. Shamar. And apparently because of that, he hasn't been showing up to their OTAs. Funny enough, in that same division, you have the Ravens, to where they didn't fully sign one of their players, Malachi Starks.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, because he's been showing up, even though he didn't fully sign yet, one of the Raven players made a comment about it, calling out Shamar about
The fact that
not showing up. And he's like, oh, look, he's still showing up even though he didn't sign.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of a fun thing. The preseason didn't even start yet where we got some AFC rivalry going on.
well,
Ned came up
When-
to say hi and then she ate my pizza.
wouldn't be the AFC North if there was any rivalry.
Oh, no.
What are we talking about?
So I was telling them that the Bengals' first round pick, Shamar Stewart, I believe his last name was, he has yet to fully sign with the Bengals. Like they put out a contract, but he isn't happy with it. And because of that, he hasn't been showing up to the OTAs. And I said in the same division, on the other hand, with the Ravens, their one draft pick, Malachi Starks, he didn't sign yet, but he still showed up. Eventually signed a contract. But one of the Ravens players kind of called out Shamar for not, showing up and making fun of him for it. It was a little funny. And, it's not even preseason, and yet they're already fucking...
Is that why Taco's on here, or because he doesn't have a signed contract? He doesn't want to be part of OTAs?
We're not no football team.
You guys are getting fucking paid?
I am.
What is money?
Yeah, that's something for a streamer, right?
Yeah, we're getting paid in pizza.
I mean, yeah, technically, I did get pizza. I did show up and got
I
pizza.
mean,
Yeah.
again, very well done pizza.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember for next time to grab more than 3.
Alright, I'm assuming we're kind of...
I don't think there's really much.
Any other notable comments about anything? Football, hockey, pickleball, tennis, waterboarding?
I'm sorry, I've been really slacking on F1, so I don't really have anything there.
F1. Forgot about F1.
Motherfucker, why are you trying to close us out right now?
They don't want to see us
Well,
eat
yeah,
pizza.
This is going to turn into a mukbang. Real quick.
They don't hear, hey, God.
We got some Red Baron pizzas that are $5.99 down at Giant Eagle.
What's in there?
I mean, we kind of touch base on everything, so.
Bam!
When did they start their series?
The 4th.
wish it was July. That would have been funny.
Holy crap.
It's on True TV. That's funny to me. Get it? Haha.
Yeah, something that the Chiefs get.
8 p.m. each game. Oh, I could not imagine.
So, for the playoffs, who do you think is going to win? Fork said with the momentum and the drive that they have, he was going for the Oilers, and he said Game 7. He was the only one that mentioned a game and who was going to win. That's why I was like, hold on, why the fuck you trying to close this out right now?
I'm just sitting here eating some damn pizza.
So, it's not the first time we've eaten on fucking stream.
Alright, next time we'll have KFC, alright?
My bad.
Yeah,
We'll,
big old bucket of chicken.
we'll let big old boss daddy over there say when it's time.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I like chicken.
Alright, who do you think out of the Panthers and the Oilers, who do you think is going to win?
You know, I think I'm gonna go with the Oilers. I think I'll go with them.
The Oilers.
The Oilers. The Oilers. I mean, both have very tough teams, very competitive. But I think based on some stats and how things have kind of looked, and with how kind of easily it seems like Edmonton has been beating their opponents, I think the Oilers will have a slight advantage. But I do think it will go, game 6 or 7. It's something to be back and forth. It's the Stanley Cup after all.
We just seen a fucking flying piece of fucking pizza crust. You're gonna think this is on turn of a fucking food war real quick. And I'm not prepared for that. I ain't out of ammo. I mean, I've got a bomb right here.
Oh, dog.
No, I was tossing the dog the very, very hard piece of crust that I had from my pizza.
Here, soak a bottle cap.
I thought you liked it hard.
So, let's ask Taco what he thinks about this this Stanley Cup Series. Taco? Right.
Fucking thought.
Things are looking a little weird, not what I expected, but
What the fuck did Mahomes get here?
Calm down, Kermit.
Special guest, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs.
yeah, guys, we're gonna win the Stanley Cup.
Or as I should say, the
Rocky
Kansas City
Power.
Chiefs.
Anyways, what about you, BH? What's going on with you? What do you think?
BH.
I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought that meant bitch head. I was like, what the fuck?
BH?
Probably.
Big head.
Oh, I thought you meant
No, it's big head, big hard.
No, that's a goddamn lie. The big part.
Wait,
Damn, you're hard. What the fuck?
24/7 gotta keep, that's the only way we repeat. If I don't, it goes inside.
I got broke up talking about Will Howard.
We hit the negatives, alright. But I'm gonna go Oilers. It's gonna be game 7. I feel like it's gonna be a back and forth type situation.
Type shit,
Yeah.
rap shit. fuck shit.
Maybe. I mean, it could be, for game 1.
Nah, game 1. Edmonton just takes it.
I
They
can
go,
see-
give me the
I-
fucking cup.
Nah, I can see Panthers taking that. It's what? No, that's what. That'd be what fucking Panthers at Oilers. Florida at Edmonton. Alright.
Florida at Florida.
It's the longest distance game, but yet they're right next door.
Yeah, that would be at Edmonton.
I was gonna say the Oilers do have home ice
I was
advantage.
gonna say, Oilers are taking that. And maybe Florida learns from game 1, comes back, gets the win. But also, Oilers do also have fucking home ice and,
McDavid.
yeah, and Edmonton, so it's kind of their thing there. And then, what is it? We got fucking 3 spray.
Alright, what about you, big shot?
What about you, Big Snack?
Big old bitch. What
Big
about,
Snack.
Honestly, I think it's just going to be a toss-up. It could be anybody's game, really.
You are a toss-up.
Was it Florida won last year?
Mm-hmm. My reasoning is that Florida has a lot more depth than the Oilers do. Yeah, they're on like a drive right now. They have the momentum. McDavid is gunning for that cup. He's definitely pissed off. He lost it last year.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
anyone
coming
would
back
be.
for revenge, but it's also Florida. Now, when you go and you look at how their record has been for the playoffs, Florida has lost 3, 4, 5 games where Edmonton has lost 4. So it's
really a toss up, but that's
It's kind of a toss up. But I think I just feel what happened to the Penguins in the past will probably repeat itself here between these two teams. I think McDavid is just driven and hungry and will stop at nothing to bring this cup to Edmonton, and everyone's going to ride that train in Edmonton. And there's no stop. It doesn't look like there's any stopping that train.
No. See, I've seen a thing on Twitter is from the NHL. There's McDavid's stats for how many goals he scored per game, like for all the playoffs up until the finals. 51% of the amount of goals he had in a game was over 2. So he had 2+ goals per game.
So I did mention that earlier.
So he's been like a very...
That like almost like half of his games have been 2 plus 2 points.
So like he's out here to win, but did he use all of his exertion?
Yeah, that dude
round 1, round 2.
That dude is hangry.
Conference final, and is he drained now, or is he?
He is hangry for that cup.
well that subject actually will vary. Like, is he going to go straight into the Stanley Cup, and is he going to let off the gas a little bit?
Who, McDavid?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's hangry. He wants to put some Medina in that cup. Some funky cold Medina. And drink out of it. That's what he wants.
Is he spent?
No.
Do you think after going through these, 12 games?
No. He is very, very determined and focused. And everyone's going to ride that. It's basically going to come down to goaltending between the two. That's what I think.
Actually stop the shots.
Yeah.
Both netminders for both these teams they're above average netminders, and it's going to come down to that. But I just feel that McDavid is just very, very focused and driven. And
let's just go back. We'll look at the Florida's last matchup. So
they gotta kill him.
Shut up. It was a reverse shutout. So, in the 4 games that they won, they had 3 goals scored against, 2 goals scored against, no goals, and 2 goals. So, I'm
seven goals.
7 goals against. I'm just like trying to compare goals.
5 games.
I mean, if you want to go all 5, then yeah. So, like, 5 goals, 4 goals, that's 9 right there. And then
13,
14, 15, 16, 17. So, in a 7-game matchup, he was scored on 17 times.
But to be fair, that was also a
2,
7, 9, 12.
12 times there. And we didn't actually...
Math, people.
we didn't probably...
Oh, yeah.
So, 4, 7,
10.
10.
So, I mean, kind of went down if you're kind of looking at it.
Suck on my plate.
And then let's go to Edmonton. 6,
6 in the first. Nothing in
7, 8,
8, 11.
11.
Well, I just think that.
And 1 shutout. Whoa, stop jumping.
So
6, 10,
10.
10, and 2 shutouts. Jesus!
Damn.
12,
16.
16,
19,
19,
20.
20.
Holy
Yeah,
hell.
so yeah, they were. That was, you know.
I mean, they're
So
kind of.
that was
They're both kind of equal.
that was a very
if you
interesting
think about it.
series.
Yeah.
You know, that series there. So you jump out of that series, and now they're in a position where they're at, and they're both the other two series. You know, they've only allowed 10 goals on both the other two series, and they're taking that into the Stanley Cup final.
Well,
Same
well,
with
you
Florida.
mentioned-
Florida.
You mentioned that they had shutouts coming from their last series. So Edmonton had 1 from the series against Dallas, and then Florida had 2.
They had 2,
So
and I think this, you know, so yeah, so both.
and he only let up, those 10 goals. Yeah.
Well, it was Carolina.
No, Florida didn't score on that one, so they had 1 shutout.
Oh,
Florida.
Carolina shut off Florida.
Shut off Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They just had 1 there.
they only had 1 there.
Excuse me.
I don't know. It could be.
Oh, for sure.
Multiple high-scoring games like they were against the fucking Kings.
Or it could be like the 1-2 type things.
Mhm.
Because it's just going to go back and forth, and whichever goalie can't keep up will lose.
It's definitely going to be who has the better eyes and better reaction times and the others.
I mean,
It's definitely going to be more skill with the goalies. And
I mean, honestly, it's going to be, like, with the goalies, it's also going to be defense. Just whoever can try and stop.
Excuse me.
All around, it would be a tough game.
shutout block and all that.
yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, it could be anybody's, honestly. But I get what you're saying, where McDavid has that drive. He wants to bring it home this year.
Right.
So, but also, they have the new add-on to the team, Marchand, and he wants to bring home a cup.
Sure.
He's another threat that now Florida has, which adds more fucking depth. So
It's something. I mean, I would imagine it'll be an interesting series. At least I'm hoping so. As for Stanley Cup final, so we'll see.
And where's Ahsoka?
Nope.
fix it up. There you go.
There you go. Eat it up. Yum. There it is.
Do you
And
guys
that's
have-
the game.
You guys have anything else to add
That's
on?
I could think of. Like I said, just right now, it going into. Well, I mean, Connor and I like to watch the UFL stuff, which is for him and I a little bit interesting because there have been maybe up to 5 players within the whole UFL that's been able to make it back into the NFL and at least produce in some sort of way. Like you mentioned before, the kicker,
Jake Bates
popped out from the UFL onto Detroit and
kicks ass.
been
he's
doing
doing
well.
very
There's like
well.
a couple defensive players that were able to make it back onto an NFL roster and kind of contribute. So it's nice to see that these guys kind of get this opportunity to go out and play and sort of maybe re-hone their skills. And Connor and I have seen probably a couple running backs that, look promising to, help possibly just, Steelers maybe just sign
I'll give us that little bit extra.
something. There's even a quarterback or two who I'm sure not in, looking, they would be able to make it as a starting role, but, I think there might be a couple quarterbacks that may look better than frickin' Skylar Thompson, for fuck's sake. Sorry. So, but other than that, it's quiet-ish, except for baseball. Baseball's kind of prominent right now, a little bit. So,
Yeah, with hockey, it's just the Stanley Cup.
well, yes,
You can
the
take
Stanley
it.
Cup final. So, that'll
So you're just waiting for those to start.
yeah.
So
Wait
the
for all
last
that.
games to start.
Wait for that to start, and that'll give a little bit of fodder for us to talk about. There's not going to be much to talk about football-wise with OTAs because nothing's really going to happen too much. But
Other than who doesn't show up for the OTA.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, they're optional; they're not mandatory. When things become mandatory, then it's something to talk about.
I was scrolling down Twitter and it was like, Zay Flowers missed the OTA. T. Higgins misses OTA. And I was like,
Those guys
okay.
don't have to be there.
They don't have to be there.
They don't have to be there. The young guys probably want to be there. They want to get acclimated to the organization and systems and stuff like that. And seasoned guys may show up, maybe just for
Just to show
possibly conditioning.
guys, you got
See
it.
how
Let's
you
go.
got it.
See how they feel. They haven't played in a little bit. Let me see let me knock a little bit of rust off by just, doing these few things. But that remains to be seen.
Well,
What's up, puppy girl?
So next month, I believe it's July. For baseball, we'll have the All-Star game and the home run derby.
Well, also, July will be a big month for baseball, but July also will introduce summer camp for
Starts
football.
getting us more into football.
So who knows? Maybe we won't sit and talk until July. Who knows? we may end up being able to sit and talk due to the fact that the Stanley Cup final might be finished and things of that nature. But or more records are broke.
So there's always something happening. It's just how much is happening for all the sports at once. It's not.
I think we may want to, may do like an over/under on Taco coming in the next one.
it's a 50.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50, honestly.
I'm going to say it's going to be a
I don't care what you want.
1575.
I really don't. I'm just done with you. 50-75.
That doesn't add up.
1575.
Oh, 1575.
Or
It still
85.
doesn't add up.
85.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I was like,
I can't math right now. I'm not
You're
very
still
good.
missing-
I can't do my gazintas.
My gazandas.
Yeah, one goes into two times.
Not 0-100. Yes, no.
But I don't have anything else. But hello to everybody out there.
Another long one here.
Thank you for joining us. If you're new, thank you. If you're old, thank you.
What if you're young?
Hello to our family in Florida.
If
Hope
you're
you guys
watching.
are doing well. Should you watch or not watch?
they ain't watching.
The one viewer is me.
Thank you for our one viewer. Appreciate it. Big props.
It's just because I was watching our chat.
Appreciate no one
Make sure
watching
you,
whatsoever.
like, subscribe. That'd be on the
You
video.
guys fucking suck at this shit. Jesus.
We're
You
having
guys are
fun
kind of
with it.
just fucking everywhere. Alright, so on the last podcast we had, we wanted you guys to go ahead and leave a few comments down below. I know we're not that big. Comments weren't left. It is what it is. But for those who are watching us now, if you have made it this far, the comments that we asked were old QBs.
Oh, yeah. I just said. I think at the time, I had said something to the effect of, without really looking anything up, just see how many quarterbacks you can. I don't even know why we got into it, but how many quarterbacks you
It's
can
because I was talking.
throw off on the top of your head.
I mentioned like Cordell Stewart. And,
Right.
Generational gaps.
yeah.
Like,
We were talking about that, but then
who everyone
kind
can
of threw
remember
that out
when they
there
were
just for S&G, and I still have my list. I could share that if anybody cares or not care.
Well, when we get comments,
Okay, I'll just keep my list then.
we go.
Yeah, when we get comments.
When we get some
You know what?
interaction.
If there's nothing on the next, if we don't really have much news for the next one, how about this? Well, I'll make a list. For your, you want to do 5 or 10 of your of who you think, like, one being the best, and just go down. Who you think the
like
best
all
rated?
time?
Yeah, all time.
I would
Quarterbacks
say
that-
5, because, dude, you're going to have so many ties with everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're going past and current, a lot of ties with a lot of things.
I also
Because I
mentioned
can already
this.
tell you, Tacos number 1. Tom fucking Brady.
Yeah.
I
Fucking
also
plastic surgeon.
mentioned this.
Yeah, this
to-
one will be Colonel Sanders.
I talked with Taco and
I met Joe Montana. Joe Montana was a quarterback, you idiot.
we thought about possibly doing like a sport trivia.
Okay.
Because we used to do that, just fucking around in their apartment. We used to just sit there and I would scroll down fucking TikTok and it's just
I know she's got to go.
just
You
trivia.
gotta go.
Dude, can you take her? Her leash thing is on that chair thing way over there.
Don't worry, I can take her.
I'm pretty sure that's she wants to go over by the drive. She wants to go over by the driveway. That's her spot. But I'm sorry, sports trivia.
Yeah, so pretty much it, talks about, the sports teams, maybe trivia questions about their logos.
Okay.
And, maybe I'll pull that up next stream, next podcast, if we don't have much information out. I'm pretty sure we'll just have baseball and fucking whoever the Stanley Cup winner is.
Sure,
maybe.
yeah.
Or it might be a point to where, like,
Or like game
It's
4. And
game 4, yeah.
2-2
Did you not
or
walk her
whatever.
over to the driveway?
Nah, I don't know where the thing is.
I just said it's on that chair. It's over by the desk. I just said that.
We'll do it next time.
So I will say, hopefully, Pirates keep their strong with what they're fucking doing. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check.
Well, since nobody's really watching, I guess we could also put
we
out
fucking
there.
lost, of course.
We could put out there the likelihood of Skeens getting traded this year.
So the Pirates ended up losing 6-4.
Excellent, good job. Good job.
They were up when we
When we first started talking
In the 7th,
2.5 hours ago.
in the 7th inning, the Padres put up fucking 4 runs.
They probably took out
Boom,
schemes.
boom.
That's probably what happened.
Probably the bullpen.
Probably the bullpen. Probably the bullpen.
Bullpen.
Bullpen, pick it up.
Bullpen.
The bullpen, sure.
Pen's full. The pen has ink.
Oh, we didn't even have Skins fucking pitch day. We had Haney, Andrew Haney,
Haney.
who was the one that it was his
Bite
first
the
game he went to.
Haney.
Even
Bite
though,
the Haney that feeds you. Kids pay.
They pay.
They pay with maize.
But yeah, like I said, if you guys made it this far, leave a comment down below about.
God bless you if you made it this far.
We're 2.5
Ah,
hours.
Or if you,
Bless you. Thank you.
or if you just skipped this far just because you didn't want to hear us ramble on,
Right.
and you're seeing our tasks that we're leaving behind. Leave a comment down below about old quarterback that you remember or recall.
No cheating.
No cheating.
No cheating.
Don't look it up.
Yeah, we know you're gonna cheat. Do it anyhow.
But yeah, like I said, if you guys made it this far and you enjoyed what you've seen or heard, drop a like, leave a follow,
Right.
Subscribe.
Do something.
Get a hold.
It's like
Call Taco.
Give some ideas.
See how he's doing.
We'll put Taco's number in the description, so you can just give him a call whenever.
Just call him
make
up.
sure
He is unlimited text.
Leave a message. Get your ass on here. Something like that.
Send him a dick pic, whatever the fuck.
What?
Oh my god.
You'll enjoy it, but please don't.
Just make sure you're,
Well, so much for following us.
Don't forget to check out Connor's OnlyFans at onlyconnors.com.
Onlyconnors.com. What a dream.
Oh boy, so much fun.
You guys are fucking nuts.
Oh,
intermission.
we're on intermission.
Oh, yeah.
Why does it still have us if it's intermission?
I don't know.
Change me.
Just intermission, and it's like, it's just gone.
Oh God, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
We need to pause for a moment.
We're not going to be right back. The only reason I pulled up this page here, this has all of our social links on it. We do have a Discord, Twitter/X. If you're watching this on YouTube, we also have a Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch, we have a YouTube.
We'll soon have a Cash App, so you can send us a penny a day.
Keeps a taco away.
Penny a day keeps the taco away.
Taco.
Well, yeah, you can always join us on Discord. We do
Discord.
post at this point. Sometimes it was daily.
Can anybody just tell us that they do follow us? Please. For the love of God.
Just join our Discord and be like, hey guys, I followed you. Now what? What do I get? I'll send you a cookie.
Cookie.
Jesus.
I like cookies. I like cookie.
Well, if you love our insanity, please subscribe. Turn the notification bell on. If you're on Twitch, drop a follow. And